Film, as an art form, has an incredible ability to do something that no other art form can do. Make an entire room full of people feel something all at the same time. Whether it be laughter, sadness, fear, or anticipation, film is a catalyst through which people can be truly united through emotion. With this in mind, there is one effect that film can accomplish which can seize the viewer's attention and refuse to let go unlike any other. A state or feeling of excited or anxious uncertainty about what may happen. Suspense. When a thriller or horror film has been masterfully crafted, there will always be the moments that glue the audience to their seats in suspense. So the question is, what parts of the craft of film are essential in creating this experience? While suspense requires the smart use of nearly all aspects of film to be successfully made, one that is oftentimes overlooked and not considered as much as other aspects is the element of audio. In a Film Ireland magazine article written by Adam Lacey, he quotes composer and studio director Giles Packham saying, "Sound is 50% of the experience, but it sometimes only gets 1% of the budget. Good sound and music can tell a story that the picture can't always communicate on its own." One verb that is almost always heard when describing moments of great suspense is tension. Studio binder writer Patrick Regan further elaborates on this in terms of a film score, saying, "Tension is a slow build. It's the part of the movie where the heroine is reaching for the door, and maybe, just maybe, the monster is on the other side. This is where you would deploy suspenseful music." Taking this into consideration, great suspenseful moments in film often begin when the audience is left wondering what is going to happen. Because of this, the use of sound alone can propel a scene starting with not much going on visually, to still bring that tension just as effectively. In the film Interstellar, the scene where the crew visits Miller's planet is a perfect example of Christopher Nolan and Hans Zimmer's expertise on setting the foundation for a moment of great suspense through sound. The moment Brand, Cooper, and Doyle touch down on Miller's planet, the silence of the planet is replaced by the score. This score, from Hans Zimmer, is fundamental to making this great nail-biting scene. Leading up to the grand reveal of the grave danger that faces them, the scene also makes great use of heightening the suspense through the wonder and confusion caused by what the characters say. When they initially go out in search of the beacon, aside from the score, when Doyle says "there's nothing here," followed by Case's remark that the beacon should be right here, right off the bat the viewer is wondering where the beacon is and how it could have disappeared. Following this, Brand mumbles before mentioning that the signal was coming from where they were standing. The next shot of Case lifting the wrecked equipment is the only significant visual aspect which further builds the suspense. In the following shots, Brandon Doyle confirming that it is the beacon that is wrecked leads the viewer to question what happened that left the beacon destroyed. The next shots in sequence have Doyle asking where the rest of the equipment is, further adding to the unknown. Brand then exclaims that the rest of the wreck is towards the mountains, and while this line seems to provide some clarity and relief, the viewer later finds out it is false. When the scene cuts back to Cooper inside the ship, he then says, "Those aren't mountains." With this line, what little assurance and understanding the viewer had is immediately gone, and as a result, the confusion and suspense is then brought to a new height. Then, once he claims that they are actually waves, with the notion that these mountain-sized structures in the distance are actually moving waves of water, the viewer is finally able to comprehend just how much danger they are in. All the while, as this scene develops, the score is there. An interesting aspect unique to the scores of Hans Zimmer, in films he has collaborated with Christopher Nolan like Interstellar and Inception, to heighten the suspense even more, Zimmer utilizes what is called a shepherd tone. In a Gizmodo article written by Adam Estes, he defines the tone as one that always seems to be moving upward or downward, yet never reaching an endpoint. The score at first is a bit subtle, but as the scene progresses, so does the score, building, growing louder, and increasing the tempo. Patrick Regan emphasizes how important the tempo of a score can be in building suspense, explaining how raising the tempo will raise the heartbeat of the viewer, making the tension all the more effective. Following this, he adds, "Not immediately, mind you. It's all about the slow build. It starts out slow, then builds and builds." What the nearly 3 minutes of the scene has been building towards is finally revealed as the shot pans up to the towering wave, where the score finally crescendos as Cooper looks out and sees the massive wave barreling towards them.
Gravity's punishing.
Been floating through space too long?
130% Earth gravity. There's nothing here. Should be right here.
If there's signals coming from here. For beacon.
Wreckage. Where's the rest?
Where's the mountains?
Those aren't mountains. They're waves.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
That one's moving away from us.
We need the recorder.
Brand Doyle, back to the Ranger now.
We're not leaving without her data.
Get back here now. No, we do not have time. The second wave is coming. We're in the middle of a swell.
I got it.
Get your ass back to the Ranger now.